in my house, if my parents or somebody I know comes to the door, I can say something funny to them when they arrive. And it just a comfort level to know who's coming and going at the house, and you can see it and it records it. And it doesn't give you a lot of false positives like cars driving by, things like that. But it is definitely helpful for some peace of mind. Welcome to another episode of the Prairie Fire Podcast. I am your host, Matt Meline, and today we're going to dive into what I think is a fascinating topic, which is artificial intelligence, or AI, and how it can be a real game changer for empty nesters, or those that are thinking about retiring. You're probably thinking, Matt, my kids are gone. I just want to travel and have some fun. Why in the world do I need to mess around with robots? Well, fair enough. But understanding how the benefits of AI can help you streamline your life, potentially save some money, maybe even enhance your social connections is time well spent. So artificial intelligence is essentially a learning machine. And at this point in time, 2024, it's a bit like a bunch of aliens. So they've come to live among us, but we don't understand them quite yet. And we do not know if they come in peace. So AI can function as an assistant to help with writing tasks, to becoming a fully informed virtual partner who can program computers, solve intricate problems, develop medical solutions, and, in its most spooky form, take on the characteristics of humans. Since the technology is burgeoning and finding new inroads, I thought it would be helpful to see where it can help those of us that are in the second half of life. So what I want to talk about is how we can actually use it. So we hear about it, but what do we actually do with it? And to do so merely in a helping format. I'm not recommending any of the apps or software that we discussed today. I just want to offer up some places to get started if you're interested in this topic and want to learn more. So why don't we dive in? I think the first thing we want to talk about is kind of all the AI that we hear about on TV. And this all started with ChatGPT. So ChatGPT allows you to do things like plan trips and ask questions. And it's kind of like a Google search on steroids, where we're looking for a topic we want to learn more about. So with ChatGPT, you can do something as simple as create a recipe, or you can do something very complicated where you want to write programs and code. And so what I've done inside of ChatGPT just to play with it is to ask it to come up with a spicy lasagna recipe. And so it laid out for me all the different ingredients I'm going to need, basically a full instruction manual on how to create a good spicy lasagna. So you can imagine it's extracting this data from lots of places. And with all things AI, regardless of our stage in life or how we're going to use it, it needs some filtering still. So there's going to be things that it's going to put in here, just like any other recipe that I would ever get, that I'm not going to like. I'm going to want to make changes to. So AI is a great starting tool. I'm finding when I use it for my work or whatever, it's a great place to get things started, to develop ideas, to get an outline built, those kind of things. But it requires a lot of editing, and I don't think that's going to change in the near future. So while it's a good helper, it doesn't solve a lot of those problems, and it definitely still needs a human hand in it. So yeah, when we first talk about AI, it's definitely the ChatGPT was the place that many of us started. And so now it's moved on to lots of different other areas. And so those are a few that I want to explore for you today. So the first thing we can talk about is household management. So you can imagine having a smart home where devices talk to each other, which can make your life easier. So some of these AI-powered gadgets are things like these smart thermostats or lighting systems and even robotic vacuum cleaners. And these can all handle some mundane tasks for you. For example, a smart thermostat learns your schedule and adjusts the temperatures to help you save energy and keep your house comfortable. So I've also learned about these smart refrigerators. And these things can track your groceries and then suggest recipes based on what you have in there. So it's not just about convenience. It's about, reducing the physical burden of managing a house so you can focus on enjoying that empty nest that you're living in. So I think it's a pretty good win. The other area that I'm seeing a lot of work done in AI is on personal financial management. So one of these apps that I found is called Wally, and it's what it claims to be the first AI-powered personal finance application. So what it enables you to do is input your accounts if you want to, bank accounts, all of those kind of things, and then you can ask it questions. It can begin tracking your spending, your bills. It can ask, should I lease a car or buy a car? It can, tailor the advice to you as it gets to know you. So it's a learning machine that takes your finances and tries to offer personal financial suggestions. And so for many, that can be a helpful thing. For others, it may not be something that you like at all. But if you want to get things organized, a lot of times when we're meeting with clients and they're contemplating retirement, for instance, or getting ready to pay for a wedding, they ask about, how does this work in my financial plan? How is this going to work overall for us? And we go through a process that helps them develop all that and answer those questions. Well, a lot of this information also centers around, how much can I spend? When we talk about retirement, a lot of folks wonder, well, how much am I spending every month? Apps like these could be a great way to find out exactly how much you're spending and where that money's going and what's the best way to monitor that situation and or make any changes. So the ability to budget without all of the pain of entering your data into a spreadsheet is now available on these apps. These digital wallets will allow you to store funds, pay bills, track your spending, and you can pay with your phone. The Wally GPT thing that I just showed you is a chat bot, and it can answer questions and unify a number of different accounts if you want to. So the expansion of AI is going to radically shift the landscape in my industry, in the financial industry. So money's personal, and many people are still going to want to work with another human when they're planning for retirement, saving and paying for college, or dealing with some financial transitions. I do think, however, AI is going to make it easier than ever to solve quick problems such as shopping for a lower interest rate, getting the best deal on a large purchase like a car, things like that. So next area I'd like to discuss is health and wellness. So AI has made some tremendous strides in healthcare. They can offer a lot of personalized wellness plans and monitor your health metrics. So there's a lot of these wearables like Fitbit, your Apple Watch, those kind of things. And these devices can track your physical activity, your heart rate, and even your sleep pattern. So I don't know if any of you are familiar with the Oura Ring, but this is something that I got for, I believe, my birthday about a year ago. And this thing is cool. You wear it, and what it can do is track a lot of things about your overall health, but in particular, it helps you track your sleep. And it will show you when you're sleeping well, when you're not sleeping well. It can show interruptions, how long it's taking you to fall asleep. And one of the things I found really helpful is a couple times it noted to me when I got up in the morning, it would ask, how do you feel? I'm like, what do you mean? Well, your body temperature was up by a degree. And sure enough, either a cold was coming on or some sort of health thing that I could start loading up vitamin C or doing whatever. But it helps you stay on top of all that. It will also track your activity if you want it to. So if you're wearing an Apple Watch, that can correspond with the AI and the Oura Ring to show how far you're getting in your movement goals, all of those kind of things, kind of like the health rings that are in the Apple Watch, but with even more detail, and then how that pertains to your heart rate, the tracking of your heart rate, and how well you sleep. So definitely worth checking out, and the use of AI in that is really cool. So another topic in health and wellness is like medication management. So there's apps like MediSafe that remind you to take your medications and will alert you if there's a potential interaction between your prescriptions. So personalized AI health assistants can also schedule appointments, send you reminders, make sure that you never miss a checkup. So it's can all be very helpful. And so again, I'm not endorsing all these applications. We are going to put these in the show notes so you can see some of the tools that we've discussed, but you can go out and do some more hunting on your own. As we get into the second half of life, a lot of us do become more contemplative. We think a bit more about mindfulness, taking a time to just enjoy the experiences of life. And so in the AI realm, there's a lot of these mindfulness applications. So retirement, empty nesting can be a great time to relax and enjoy life, but it also comes with its own set of anxieties. So these mindfulness apps like Headspace or Calm or Waking Up offer guided meditation sessions that can be tailored to your stress levels and your preferences. These apps are going to analyze your usage patterns and provide recommendations that can help you manage stress and maintain your well-being. A lot of times when I was looking into mindfulness and stuff, I didn't understand what it all meant. So you say mindfulness, I picture crossing my legs and breathing underneath a tree. So there's obviously a lot more to it. But a lot of these apps, like the Waking Up app, teaches you, not just tracks what you're doing on the mindfulness side, but helps you understand it and will bring new knowledge to that area to help you say, all right, maybe this is for me, maybe it isn't, but it can give you a chance to learn more. So just in short lessons and or in some guided meditations, it can be really helpful. And they use AI to learn what your typical patterns are, the areas that you're looking for. If they notice you're asking a lot about stress or asking a lot about parenting, they'll suggest things like new hobbies or maybe groups or activities that would work based on your interest. So a lot of them will give you recommendations for things like books or groups in your area, or even online courses that align perfectly with the things that you love. So not only helps you stay engaged through mindfulness, but also maybe find a supportive community around you as well. A lot of the things that I found interesting with AI is on some of the social applications like Facebook, where a lot of events will now pop up. And I think it's amazing because you can virtually fill up any night you choose if you want to. There's events that will pop up. For me, it's a lot of concerts that are coming into town that I'm interested in, things my friends are doing, local gatherings that I didn't know about, classes you can take, all that kind of thing. So using those social applications to find things to do, to be more creative, or to just try new things is a great way. So, okay, let's move on to safety and security. So there are AI-powered surveillance systems like the Nest Cam or the Ring camera that can offer real-time monitoring and alerts that make sure your home is always safe. So we have a Ring camera at my house, and at first it was driving me crazy because it was beeping all day long with people were at the door. Somebody, have you seen my dog? All kinds of stuff was popping up in there. So you can monitor your alerts in these. But what I do like to see is if somebody's at my door. And so whether it's an Amazon guy coming in the middle of the night to drop off a package, or somebody passing by to do a survey, or a service person coming to help with something, we can see who's there and you can actually speak to them. So I've used this as quite a joke. In my house, if my parents or somebody I know comes to the door, I can say something funny to them when they arrive. And it just comfort level to know who's coming and going at the house, and you can see it and it records it. And it doesn't give you a lot of false positives like cars driving by, things like that. But it is definitely helpful for some peace of mind. Some of these devices can even come equipped with facial recognition that can allow you to create a trusted circle of family and friends who can access your house. So that level of security can be very invaluable, especially if you're traveling, spending some time away from home, all that kind of fun stuff. There's a lot of AI use cases for staying in touch with our families, especially now that we're post-COVID. This all started during that time, but our families are more and more spread out. So one of the most heartwarming benefits of AI is its ability to bring us all together, especially with video. So I think of AI-powered tools like Zoom or Microsoft Teams, even a lot of social media platforms like Facebook Messenger are making it easier than ever to stay connected. And they use this AI to enhance video and audio quality. They make sure our virtual gatherings feel almost as good as being in the same room. I know it's not the same, but a lot of the enhancements are really, really cool. And now that we're all getting used to using them, can bring us together a lot more frequently than maybe we were able to before when we were just able to talk on the phone. There are also AI-driven scheduling assistants that can help find the perfect time for everybody to meet, take into account different time zones and busy calendars. So picture an AI assistant that coordinates family video calls, sends reminders, and even suggests conversation topics based on your family's shared interests. So this organization allows you to focus on what truly matters, which is spending that quality time with your family. And let's not overlook some of these AI-powered virtual assistants like Google Assistant or Amazon's Alexa. These devices can help bridge the gap between sending voice messages, reminders, or even organizing something like a family trivia night, which I've not done, but apparently it's out there on the AI world. So one of the neat AI tools that I did discover is called Trips through TripAdvisor. So if we want to shift gears now to travel planning, there are a lot of AI use cases here. But Trips is an AI tool that developed through TripAdvisor that you can basically tell it what you want to use. Through four short questions, you can build a custom day-by-day itinerary into that app, and it can help you plan all that. So I find planning for trips can be incredibly difficult. It becomes kind of a logistical nightmare of figuring out where do we want to go? When do we want to go there? And it just can be very overwhelming. So the AI is revolutionizing the way we approach this preparation. It can make it a lot more efficient and a lot more enjoyable. So for instance, these ones like Google Flights and Skyscanner, they use advanced algorithms to find the best flight deals. This will help you optimize your routes, the fares, all this based on your preference. And so these tools are analyzing a vast amount of data to predict the best times to book. It's going to help you save money and avoid stress of all the fluctuating prices. And then, like I mentioned on this TripAdvisor site, these personal itineraries can also include things like must-see attractions, some of the local hidden gems, local events based on your interests. So I always like to go to these to look for where bands are playing in town, or if we can find like a small venue with a acoustic set, whatever the deal is. So whatever you like to do, it personalizes that to you. So on future trips, you can plug in 5 or 6 things you like to do, and it's going to point you in the right direction. Just saves you a ton of time, and you feel like you're not missing out while you're there because you've had to spend so much time doing research on the destination and all that stuff. This AI can help alleviate some of that and make it a lot quicker, a lot more efficient, and a lot more personalized. So yeah, they curate these experiences to make your trip unique and memorable. And then when it comes to finding a place to stay when you travel, some of these platforms like Airbnb and Booking.com have integrated artificial intelligence to provide personalized recommendations that align with your travel style and your budget. Some of these search engines can analyze your past bookings, your preferences, and the reviews that you see to suggest the best places to stay. Once again, much more comfortable experience. There's also these virtual assistants like Siri and Alexa that can also help you manage your travel itinerary, from setting a reminder. So I know I want to travel to Charleston on December 19th, to important travel dates, real-time updates on flight statuses and weather conditions at your destination, Another cool thing for those of you that travel internationally, if you're going to a foreign country, there are AI-powered language translation apps. So communication barriers are basically becoming a thing of the past. You can navigate foreign countries with a lot of ease and confidence. The technology can help you navigate a lot of new places and make it safer to get around, especially now that we have ride services like Uber and Lyft. They're now using AI to estimate arrival times, find efficient routes, ensure that you get to your destination hassle-free. And then, of course, there's AI-driven map services like Google Maps or Waze. And those are going to give you real-time traffic updates, suggest alternate routes to avoid congestion, and make your travels a lot more smooth and enjoyable. With AI on your side, travel planning becomes less of a chore and more of an adventure waiting to unfold. So there are a myriad of AI tools. There is so much going on in this world that it's no way to cover in one podcast. What I'm hoping I gave you today are a few things that you can actually use in your real life and find applications that can really significantly enhance the lives of our clients and our friends, which are empty nesters eager to retire. So whether it's managing your household finances to maintaining your health and social connections, getting the family together, or finding a great pizza, it's all out there. So we look to expand more on this topic as we expand the podcast, and would definitely like your feedback on AI topics that you're interested in or great use cases that you've found. All right. So that is all that we've got today for our Prairie Fire podcast. Thank you so much for joining us. I hope you found these tips helpful. If you'd like to learn more about Prairie Fire and what we do and the podcast, please send us a line at info@PFW Planning, and we will get you on our weekly email list that will give you updates on our thinking, on the financial transitions that many are going through, and information on the podcast. Thank you again for reaching out, and let's take Prairie Fire to the artificial intelligence world. What do you say? Thanks.